Hey guys, what's up? So welcome back to Let's Make a Forge Mod episode 4 of the series. Now today we're going to be making our first ever block. It's going to be a solid block for our new item, which is a topaz. We're going to make a topaz block. In the future episodes, we're going to go over sharp list recipes and recipes itself to show you guys how to craft your topaz into the block. But here is the block we're going to be adding in. Check this out. Here is the block. You guys could get the download from my description, go to my forum and search for the download. It's in the section episode 4, show the spoiler, it's going to be right there. So this is the same topaz block for my trio gems mod that I used a long time ago. I made this using Photoshop. You could use GIMP or paint.net if you really want to. It's a 16 by 16 block and you guys have full permission to use it in your mod. So here is the block that we're going to be adding in, and how about we get started? Anyways, this video was supposed to be released somewhere around early in the morning. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning when I recorded this for the first time, and I was really tired because I just got done doing other videos. And here it is right here. This is the old video that I'm going to delete because it wasn't my best. I was really tired, I wasn't making any sense, and I decided, you know, I'm not going to be uploading content that doesn't really reflect who I am, you know what I mean? I prefer quality over quantity, and if I really uploaded this tutorial over this one right now, it would be really disastrous and you guys wouldn't understand me. So that's why I'm gonna put a little bit more quality into this video and just, you know, go over it a little bit more better, because you know, this video right here, the one I recorded earlier, really sucked. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started making our block. I'm gonna be using my forum for this. So my forum has all of the source links in description. It's gonna be the first link. Click on that, and here you could see all of the code from mod loader all the way down. You just scroll all the way down to forge, which is right here. Another thing I'm going to be doing, guys, is since I'm not really uploading these episodes a lot, I'm going to be putting all of the source on this website. So you guys could come here, and you're probably going to see episode 5, episode 6, episode 7, even though we're still at episode 4. So I'm going to be putting all of the source early before we actually get done with the video. So you guys could come here early, get the source, and you don't have to wait for the videos and whatnot. Anyways, here's episode 4. This was posted about yesterday, so if you guys came here yesterday, you would have gotten the source. Anyways, let's show the spoiler, and here's everything we need to know about how to make a block into Minecraft. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to open up Eclipse, because now we're going to start making our block. So get the block that you want, make sure it's 16 by 16 pixels, and once you have the block ready, the texture, how about we get started? I'm going to open up Eclipse, where our mod is at. We're going to use Eclipse, the Java editing software. And while this opens up, how about we talk about some other stuff? A lot of you guys have been asking me to do dimensions and all that crazy stuff. If we go back to my creating mods forum, you could see right here, here's the huge list of everything I'm going to cover. And it's going to be mod loader and forge. So eventually we're going to go down to GUI, dimensions, furnace, biomes, creating structures, new bows, enchantments, and all that great stuff. So we're going to go over all of these in the series so very soon. So yeah, anyways, how about we get started? Open up Eclipse, and you're going to see right here Minecraft. We're going to open up the little arrow right here. We're going to open up that project, go here to source, open that up, and scroll all the way down to your package, which should be SCMowns.tutorial or whatever you named it. So I'm going to open that up. And here is the main class, which is tutorial mod. It is not gem items because this is for something else. Here's my topaz block of yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and just delete that for you guys. I'm just going to delete it. And I'm just going to go back to my main class right here and just delete all the source and whatnot. Anyways, how about we get started? Let's see if I have any errors. I don't think I'm supposed to have any errors. Let me put save all. So go to your main class. Mine is tutorialmod.java. Here we have to make sure we have all of the basic imports in order to make a block. So go here to import net Minecraft block. Click the little plus right here. Click that plus to see all of your imports. Now if you have import net Minecraft block, you're good to go. And right here, game registry at the very bottom. If you have these two, you're good to go. So if we check back at the forum, let's see if we have all of the imports. We have block, we have game registry, and we also have language registry. So we have all of the basic imports already ready. So how about we start making our first block? I'm going to go here, copy this. I'm going to go back to my tutorialmod.java, scroll down a little bit because we're going to be pasting this in our public class tutorial mod open brackets. Here you're going to see I listed out a comment saying items because we did make our topaz and it is an item. So I'm going to make another comment right here with 2 slashes and call it blocks. So here I'm going to be pasting all of the blocks. And another thing you guys been asking me is that does Java you know, is Java picky with all the spaces? Because I've seen someone's source and he had a lot of spaces like this. No, it does not matter. So you could have public, all of these spaces, static block, and block name. Because what the Java language does is that it's going to read everything. It's going to ignore all of the spacing, and it's going to go to the semicolon, and it's just going to read the code. But just make sure you don't have everything together like this. Check this out. This is how you get yourself an error. Just make sure you have a space in between everything, and you'll be good to go. So public static block and our block name. Now we have to declare it. We have to define it. So we have to go down here to public void load, and inside here we're going to be making our definition of what this block name is. But before we do anything, I'm going to change block name. I'm just going to double click this just to highlight it and change it to topaz block, because we're going to be making a topaz block. Here's our topaz, here's our topaz block. So now let's go back to my forum, and we're just going to highlight and copy over this line of code, which we're going to be placing inside our public void load brackets. So let's go back in here, and here's the brackets for the public void load, open bracket, and here's the close bracket. So how about we go here and just paste it right in. There we have it. So there we go. Now immediately you should be able to get yourself some errors. The reason why is because we don't know what a block name is. We did not call it a block name. We did in fact call it a topaz block. So what we're going to do, the fastest way to do this is just to double click the topaz block. Double click it and press Control Z. I mean, no. My bad. Let's redo that. You double click it and you press Control C. Completely off topic right there. So Control C for copy. Go back to block name, double click that, and press Control V. So Control C to copy, Control V to paste. It's a lot faster. Or you could go here to block name, double click it, and you could just, you know, spell it out. Topaz block if you really want to. And there we have it. Here's topaz block. So topaz block, we're going to go over all of the errors right now. Topaz block equals a new block class. Another thing you guys were asking is, what's up with the equals? How come it's super close to the topaz block? Well, in Java ignores the equals because you guys don't really define anything with equals. You can't really have a name and put equals. You know what I mean? You can't have that equals there. Equals in Java pretty much means equals. So what I'm gonna do is just backspace that. I know that equals doesn't really mean equals. There's another term of what it really means, but yeah, let's just keep the equals. You could have it super close to your words, so you could have it this close. So you could have topaz equals new, and yeah, so just ignore the equals. You don't have to worry about that. Topaz block equals a new block class. Now inside these parentheses, you have the item ID, and here's the block name underscore whatever. So here's the item ID for our block. We're going to keep it somewhere around 2,000 to 4,000 in between those numbers, because if you have it at, let's say, 36,608, if you have it that high, then you're probably going to get yourself a crash and you won't really be happy. So let's go ahead and change this number. I'm going to leave it at strictly 2,500. Let's just keep it at that. Or you could just have it 3,000 if you really want to. So here's the item ID. Now here is block name underscore whatever. What I'm going to put here is I'm going to highlight this block name underscore whatever, and I'm going to actually name it topaz block. There we go. I'm just going to name it the same thing as what I named it here. So topaz block. You could do the same thing. I would recommend it because I like to keep everything the same name. So it's not like, you know, yellow block. I just named it topaz block. So dot set unlocalized name texture of the block. Now there's something strange about this tutorial, which I'm going to briefly go over. The texture path is quite weird because when we make our new block class, it's gonna already ask for a texture path, and also here it's asking for another texture path. So it's quite confusing. If you remember when we made ourselves an item, so here's our item right here. Where is it at? I think it's right here. There it is. So here's our item. I was already highlighting it. So topaz equals new gem, whatever, and dot set unlocalized name, and we named our texture topaz. So this is like a texture path, and it's already immediately gonna go search the textures folder under items. It's gonna search for the topaz .png because we named it right here topaz. But for blocks, there's like two ways of retexturing your blocks. We're gonna go over that right now, but what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna name this texture of block the same as what I named the actual texture. So what I named it was, let's check, all undercase topaz block. If you have any caps, make sure to include the caps because Java language is cap sensitive. So topaz block. I like to keep everything underscored, or I like to keep everything undercased because if you have too much caps, then you're probably gonna confuse yourself. So topaz block. there we have it. And now let's see, set hardness. Now in order for you guys to see hardness, if you guys want to know how hard obsidian is or how hard a lever is in Minecraft, what you could do is go up here to search, and you put search file, and you search capital B block, and you put search, and you just wait right here in your workspace down here, and you could search for the block.java, because in the block.java of Minecraft, it shows every single block, and it shows their resistance, and it shows their hardness. So what you do is just search that, scroll a little bit down where you're gonna see right here net, open up net, and you're gonna go to Minecraft, and you're gonna go here to block, and here is the block.java. And what you could do is just double click that, and I already have it opened up. And as you guys could see, you can see all of the blocks. So let's say ore right here, a coal ore. Let's see the hardness. It is 3. So 3.0, the resistance is 5. That's pretty awesome. And you could also see the step sound of what it can make. So I did a little error. If you noticed, I just moved the period somewhere. You could just press Ctrl Z to undo stuff. So set step sound, and the sound of this footstep is just stone. So let's go back to our tutorial mod.java and just check this out, the line of code. So set hardness, I'm gonna leave it at 2. You could change it to your liking. You could have it really hard, and you could have it up to, like, let's say probably 30. 30 is really hard. That's I don't even think a diamond pickaxe could break that. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm gonna leave it at 2 or probably 3, just like a coal ore. And the next one is set step sound, and this is the sound that's going to be making. So when you happen to place it down or step on it, this is the sound that's going to come from the block. So since we're making a solid block, I'm going to make sure it has a metal sound effect, because if you happen to craft a iron block, it does sound like metal when you place it down. It has that little fancy noise that I like. So that's why I'm going to leave it at block.sound metal footstep. If you remove block dot, then you're going to get yourself an error, because you're not really importing the sound from blocks. So yeah, that's why I left block.sound metal footstep. So let's check out the next thing, which is set resistance. And this is the resistance from if anything would happen to hit it, such as a TNT explosion. And yeah, so I'm going to leave the resistance at 10 for now. Now let's scroll down a little bit. We're just going to ignore this error right here with the new block class and go down here to game registry. So you have to register your block in Minecraft, because you are going to be placing it down, and you have to register the block so Minecraft would know that you're making a block. So game registry.register block for the topaz block. What is the block name? In Minecraft, we're just going to call it a topaz block. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to leave it like that. I like to name everything the same, topaz block, topaz block. Now the language registry.add name for the topaz block. I'm going to press Ctrl C to copy, go here, Ctrl V to paste. So the game registry, add name for the topaz block. What is the name of this topaz block? It is not called blood name. Ignore that, because I did copy this code from my server mod pack, because I am making blocks for the server, and there was a blood ore, I believe that was what it's called, bloodstone ore, something like that. That's why it's blood name. So anyways, I'm going to change this to topaz block. Now this is where you're going to be naming your items. Game registry. Language registry is where you're going to be naming the blocks. So you could have caps here, because when you're holding the block, what is it going to say? You could have it say like Steven's block. So when you're holding it, you're like, oh man, I have Steven's block while in game. So that's pretty awesome. So let's go up here to the error, and you'll notice that we have to make ourselves a new block class for our topaz block. What I'm going to do is just highlight over the new block class, and I'm going to change that simply to topaz block, and I'm also going to include caps, because it's going to be making a new class. And as you'll see right here, gem items is a new class that we made for our items. I did include capital G and capital I. So I'm going to leave our new block class with capital T and capital B. So anyways, here's topaz block. I'm going to go over that, and I'm going to go here to create a new class. So you just highlight over this, and it's going to create a class for the topaz block. Once you've done that, it's going to immediately make a new class in your package, which is SCMowns.tutorial or whatever you named it. Once you have done that, click finish to make a new class. And as you see, if you go here to SCMowns.tutorial or where your package is at, you'll notice that you have a topaz block. And this line of code will just automatically generate. Anyways, how about we go back to our forum and copy the last bit of code. So here we are. I'm going to copy all of this all the way up to package, all the way down to the end of the squiggly bracket. I'm going to right click and copy to copy the last line of code. I'm going to highlight this to get rid of it, backspace, and I'm going to press Control V to paste. Now we're going to get a lot of errors because, you know, there's obviously you're going to get a lot of errors. So how about we check this out? All right. The first error is this right here. What's wrong with that? Let's see. It seems that I didn't put this comment. We'll go over this right now. Anyways, the first error we should notice is package your.package. That is not the name of our package. Our package is actually named SCMowns.tutorial. So hover over that. Scroll a little bit down where it says change package declaration to SCMowns.tutorial. Change that or whatever you've named it. So now that we've done that, here's all the basic imports that we need. Now public class, new block class. That is not the name of our block class. It's actually named Topaz block. So what we're going to do is double click this right here, new block class, and change the name manually to Topaz block. So now that we included the caps, because it is named with caps, then we're good to go. So another thing you might notice, public block name. Highlight the block name and change it to Topaz block because that is not the name of our class. So once you've done that, you'll notice I accidentally didn't change this right here. Place in creative. Let me go ahead and change that. When you're gonna copy and paste this code, you're not gonna get this error because it's already gonna be fixed. But if you do have this error, then put another slash because I'm trying to make a comment and I failed to make the comment. So that's why there was one slash, but you need two to make a comment. Anyways, so this block is going to be in our creative tab. While you're in creative mode, you're going to go to the tab block and you should be able to find the actual block. So now I have another error for some reason. Another error. I think, yeah, this is all supposed to be comments. I think the moderators in the forums changed something because this was all corrected. Huh. Well, I'll fix everything so you guys don't have to really worry about this. But if you do have this error, just put another slash just to make it into a comment down here as well. Texture the block. Put another slash. So you're going to get an error right here. This is the droppings. So if you would happen to break this block, since it is a solid block, what are we going to get in return? Are we going to get some items out of it? Are we going to get like diamonds? Or are we going to get the block back? So in order to mess with this, what you do is return main class. What's your main class? Ours is the tutorial mod.java. That's our main class. So we're going to double click this main class and change it to tutorial capital M mod. So tutorial mod dot, and you could just backspace this item and backspace again if you really want to put another period. So if you backspace everything, let's just say you just put tutorial mod, the name of your class. Let's just backspace everything. Why don't we? So return tutorial mod. What are we going to return from the tutorial mod? Put a dot, put a period. And you'll notice that you have a list right here. You could return the block that we just made, or we could return the item. What I'm going to do is click on block. All right, so return Topaz block, but there's something wrong. What is the block? Is it an item or is it a block? It's a block. So what we're going to do is put another period and look right up here, block ID. You could double click that or you could spell it out, underscore, lowercase b and capital ID, which is tutorial mod Topaz block ID. So this is the return value and how many are we going to get? So as you guys can see, this is the quantity of how many is going to drop. We have it at default 3, but we don't want to glitch Minecraft. We don't want to cheat because when you do break a block, you only get the block back. You don't get 3 of them back. So I'm going to change this 3 to 1. So when we happen to break this block once, we're only going to get 1 back. All right, so now that we fixed that, how about we go down? Another thing you might notice is that if you guys are like playing on my server, there was a glitch with my crystal block. I made a crystal block for a gem and I accidentally had the return value up to 3. So players in my server were duplicating blocks and selling them to other players in my server. I looked back at my code and I noticed that the return value was at 3. So players were kind of cheating on the server and selling duplicated blocks. And those blocks were supposed to be rare, but I came back to the code and I changed the return value to 1. So just make sure you know what you're doing. Anyways, let's go down here to the texture path because this is a public string, though I'm not entirely sure if this is required because we have already went here to tutorial mod and we already set our unlocalized name. So I'm not sure if this is going to search for the texture or this is going to search for the texture for our block. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this public string because it might be required because it could probably work for a server. We don't know, but just keep the string because it does often help out. So it's going to return the texture. Under the textures folder, under the blocks folder, what is the texture name? .png. Keep the .png there. What you're going to do is just highlight over the texture name, and you're going to call it topaz block if you are making a topaz block, or what your block name is. So now that you put topaz block, let's just check the name, because you have to make sure, yes, it is in fact called topaz block. So now that we've done that, we are good to go, return all that great stuff, and we are done. We have made our official block, but wait a second. We have not set the texture correctly. We have not placed our texture into the Minecraft.jar, so our texture won't register, and if it doesn't register, you're going to get an error saying missing texture. So how to fix the missing texture bug is make sure that you install your texture or place it inside your forage folder. What we're going to do is open up this forage folder, and inside here, we're going to go here to jars folder. Go inside there. You're going to go inside your bins. Now here's a blocks folder. What we're going to do is double click our blocks, and what I like to do is just copy the image, right click and copy the topaz block and just paste it inside that folder, because later when we're done with this mod, we're going to be distributing it. And the best way to know what textures you made is to go back to your bins, and we already have folders called blocks and items, so you don't have to go back to the Minecraft.jar and search for those textures yourself, because you already made copies right here, blocks and items. So if we look inside the items, what do you know? Our topaz is here. So when you guys make hundreds of items, you could just make copies of them inside this items folder. So when you're done with your mod, it's going to be a lot easier to find the textures without looking for them in the Minecraft.jar. So now let's place this topaz block, the official copy, into the Minecraft.jar. So right click your Minecraft.jar, inside your moddings folder, jars bin, right click that, open with WinRAR. So now that you've opened up the Minecraft.jar, move it aside. You have to make sure you place this texture, topaz block, inside your textures folder, inside your Minecraft.jar. So here's title, textures, poly codes, and all that great stuff. Go here to textures, double click that. Now this is a block, so open up the blocks folder. Now inside here are all of Minecraft's vanilla blocks and whatnot. What you're going to do is simply highlight and hover over and copy, just drag it straight into your blocks. All of the blocks right here, you're just going to copy the image and just drag it into there. And replace, press OK, and you're good to go. So all we had to do is just simply drag it into the blocks images, and we're done. Now that we've done that, how about we go back to Eclipse and check if it worked. What I'm going to do is just press play, since I've already saved everything. And if you guys got any errors, be sure to go to my help forums and be sure to tell me where did he get the error and when and exactly what time. Not just kidding. We don't care about the time. But if you do have an error, go to my help forums, because there's a lot of great people who help out, such as Bud Bill, and I forgot who. There's a lot of people who help out. Anyways, guys, also, if you guys are interested of winning a Dota 2 free copy, links in the description, or check out my mod reviews, because I am giving away like 6 copies of Dota 2, which is pretty awesome. Anyways, how about we make this full screen, go here to single player, go into any world that we like. And also, guys, if you guys are like fans of this series, be sure to leave a like. I would really appreciate it. I do put a lot of effort into this video, and as of yesterday, it was really, you know, hard to make this video because I was tired and I didn't feel like just throwing out any random video out to you guys, because I know you guys don't like that. You guys, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys prefer quality over quantity, and that's what I like to stick to. I'm not going to throw out any random video out there just because it was good. I mean, I'm not going to throw out any random video out there just because I made it. So I just want to throw out stuff that is good. So I got that all wrong. Anyways, press your inventory key, which should be E. Go here to building blocks, because that is the blocks tab, and scroll all the way down. And as you guys can see, we have ourselves the texture block. Our topaz block is right here. And if we place it down, there it is. We have now made our first ever Minecraft block. Congratulations, guys. You guys deserve it. And it sounds really nice. If you guys want to change the sound, you guys could always go here to Eclipse. You know, go back to your main class, tutorial mod. And in order to change the sound, wait, it's kind of freezing. But what you do is just highlight and backspace the sound metal footstep all the way to the dot. And backspace it, put in another period. And you can see all of the sounds. We have cloth, we have sand, gravel, even metal, the same one. But I like to leave it at metal because that's a really nice sound for especially solid blocks. So once you have done that, guys, you are good to go. Hopefully you guys will enjoy this tutorial. I'm really lagging because this is Eclipse and it's kind of laggy. It's, you know, it's not regular Minecraft. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for all of your support. Hopefully, you guys will make a ton of blocks because you know what? You can make endless blocks. And also, a lot of you guys have been asking, do we have to, how's the best way to say this? A lot of people have been wondering how to make duplicates or how to make more blocks. What you do is you just make a new public static block. Just make a new one and rename it and just copy this code right here and just duplicate it again. But rename everything to the other block. So if it's a Ruby block, put Ruby block, Ruby block, Ruby block, Ruby block. The name, Ruby block, Ruby block. And after that, make a new class. Instead of Topaz block, call it Ruby block. And just copy and paste this code. Fix the errors, which should be right here. Public class Ruby block extends block instead of Topaz. So make a new block class and change the texture right here to Ruby block. And the dropping as well. Just make sure you put the drop because you don't want to mine a Ruby block and get a Topaz block out of it, unless your mod is really that weird. But yeah, return to tutorial mod.topaz block. And once you have done all that, you could just make many blocks. And also change the item ID. Make sure you just change it by one number. So if you make another item, put it 5001. Keep everything at the same number. You don't want to have like billions of different number. As you see, my Topaz gem is actually 2013. I'm actually going to change that. I'm going to put it at 2501 just because I like to keep everything the same. I don't like to scramble all of my IDs. I'm going to keep this 2500 and this one 2501. So guys, anyways, thank you guys for all the support. I'm going to go ahead and edit this and upload it. I did a pretty good job on this tutorial, I think so. And if you thought so too, leave a like, leave a favorite if you really want to. And continue making your mods. And if you need any help, just come back to me. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and catch you guys later. Thank you!